You know what? Boom. I'm sorry. You know how we were talking about reform?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking
Yes.
about. Okay, so that was a question that I had. I was like, how can you even reform like the policing, like the police departments and all that? I'm thinking one of the things. This is just an idea. You need to make these mofos live in the communities that they serve.
Yes.
Straight up. You need to live here. That's part of this package.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
And
you
also,
can probably get more local people to become police officers. That's a dream for a lot of kids.
Yeah.
It gets misconstrued and put
As they
on
get
a back
older.
burner as they get older, or completely obliterated.
Yeah, no, I come from that. I come from that strain of thinking.
It's the beer, not me.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Whatever, beer champs. You know what I'm saying? But it's
Beef.
all beef. Oh man, heavy duty, big dog.
I can't believe he do that. I'm sorry. Why I say that?
Capitan.
Keep going. Like, he won't stop. Like,
The Shah, the Czar,
oh
the
my
Emperor.
gosh. I'm not doing that no more. I
Yes,
just
you will.
announced-
I will just look for a reason. Excuse me. I'll look for a reason to do it. Okay. That's what I do with my dad. Every time my dad calls me, I call him every leadership name I could ever
that's
give.
so
I'd be like the
cute.
Shah, the Czar, the Emperor, the Capitan, the El Presidente. I call him everything. But it's back to the cops. So the problem is, first of all, the idea of why some dudes become cops. Let's go to the core, right? Why does this guy become a cop in the first place? So it's a common known fact that a lot of losers become cops. Okay?
Really?
These
I didn't know
guys
that.
get beat up in high school. They never got any girls, or they weren't on a football team. They weren't popular. So they get out of school and they kind of have this thing in their mind, like, you know, I'm going to join the police force and I'm going to get back at the world. If you feel a lot of that energy, that bad energy coming from that particular cop, you're like, wow, this guy was a loser. And me being how I am, you know, like, because I'm kind of psychological, I can read when they're like that, and I know like certain things not to say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, this guy can't relate, so I'm not gonna make that kind of joke, or I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was actually lucky enough to have a opportunity to show my son how I interact with police. I got pulled over, dropping him to school in the morning. I didn't indicate or whatever, right? Okay, whatever. Here's the thing too, which I also want all my black folks out there to remember. It doesn't give you a green light to just break the law, okay? We don't want to be brutalized, but you can't break the law too. I didn't indicate. I didn't. I don't indicate. I'm sorry. I just don't. I just don't. I don't. I'm just dipping, okay?
I feel you.
He saw me dipping, he pulled me over. It wasn't like, oh man, I'm grown enough to know when I did something wrong and I should have gotten pulled over. So he pulled me over. So my son, his heart is just beating because he's like, he's seen what he's seen on TV.
Right.
He's like, oh, his heart is just beating. And I'm like, hey, calm down, man, we good. Calm down. Because I'm like, okay, I gotta take control of the situation because I'm dad, you know.
Yeah.
So, dudes come knock on the windows. I already had the windows down already. He didn't even have to knock on the window. The windows was down, had my registration already ready. He said, hey, you didn't indicate back there. I said, yeah, you know, son, taking this boy to school, and I just don't like indicating, man. I was just 100 with him. I was like, I just don't like indicating, man. I gotta put my hand up. He's like, come on, man, you know. So immediately, nobody likes to be played for an idiot, right?
Right.
So you get to try to, hey man, what you pull me over for? Like all of that rhetoric, it sets stuff in a bad way. So try to
You
imagine.
already knew what you were getting pulled over for.
I
so
did
you
it.
played it right.
I did it.
Yeah.
See, if you did the wrong thing and you know you did it, man, just own up to it. I'm not. If you don't want to own up to it, just don't do bad shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you can't have both. You know. So if you try to play a cop like he's an idiot, he's gonna treat you like an asshole because you're an asshole. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to lie to this dude. Like, try to imagine somebody coming to you and be like, shit, your shirt is green. And you're like, no, it's not. It's maroon. No, your shirt is green. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like, okay, just leave me alone. You know, because you're not talking sense. It's the same kind of thing. I saw you do something wrong, and now you're trying to lie to me. Immediately, the antennas go up. And it makes them, you know, so you don't know what background they have.
Right.
Where they want to be like, man, fuck this guy. I want to beat his ass.
They may have an issue with authority, like. So don't even egg them on, basically.
Don't egg them on.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't work all the time. Okay? Let's just keep that 100. Some cops are just bent on fucking somebody up today.
Because they had a bad. Well, I'm not giving no excuses, but sometimes that happens.
It's not an excuse. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Some cops are just like, I'm fucking somebody up today.
Yeah.
They don't have no reason. You could be the nicest guy in the world. You could be just minding your business. Unfortunately, with the situation that just happened, it's like, yo, like that was on camera and he got his knee on his neck. Like there's no reasoning for that. Because the guy's not struggling, he's not fighting, there's no reason for this. So that's why the anger, I feel like. But from situation with my son and me sitting in the truck and he was like, license registration, boom. So they always have good cop, bad cop. They're trained that way, right? So they got the one cop who's trained to keep you calm while the other cop goes and digs up all your information. So I give the guy my information, the arresting cop as they would call him, the one that comes to your window. He goes back to the car. The other cop's like, hey, so what, you take your son to school? I'm like, yeah, man, but you guys gotta make us late, man. Come on, dog. You know, and my son's sitting there going like, well, what's his dad doing, right? He doesn't know what I'm doing. And the cop's trying to keep it cool. So he's like, hey, you got a motor in the back of your truck. Because, you know, I build motors or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man. 280 horsepower, man, I better whoop your cop car. I'm talking shit now, you know, because I'm trying to get him like, I was like, you need to put a supercharger on that motor. You got a 4.6 Ford V8 in that cop car, and you can put a supercharger in there and whoop my ass all day. You playing, dog.
Yeah.
And he starts laughing. Ah, ha, 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 ha. My son's seen a cop laughing.
Yeah, so, it's an impression in itself.
So he's like, what kind of interaction is this? I thought that these guys were, I'm telling you, there's already a hostility there that needs to be killed between black people and the police.
Yeah.
I don't have that hostility because I just have a real forgiving kind of nature. So it's like, you know, I've been physically beaten by the police. I've had all that happen to me. I've had false arrests, all that kind of stuff happen to me. I'm just like, I individualize that. It was that guy.
Yeah.
People come put across a whole department.
And that's how a lot of people do it.
I'm like,
so, yeah.
but see, that's the same blanket statements that cause racism.
That's
right?
True.
Man,
That's
this one
true.
black guy does you wrong in like 1984.
But you have to think about this. And I'm glad we're talking about this because I was listening to an interview today on NPR. I love that station. And they were interviewing some guy. I don't remember his name and I don't remember like the title that he held. But him and his crew, they did like a report on the show Cops. And so they talked about cops, and one of the things that stood out was that they said the first 7 minutes of Cops, they show like, you know, it's a show. So any producer is going to want to hook you in the beginning.
Right.
So, but like a large percentage of their shows, they show the first 7 minutes of cops arresting like black offenders for something. Whether it's some kind of crime or whatever, you know. Right. And it's a reason for that, you know. And when you look at that, I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm going anymore. Wait, what were you talking about?
Beer champs. Taste the rain, bro.
I'm
And on that note,
interesting.
we'll be right back. All right, you're kicking it with the beer champs.